like the light of a new day. It hit me from out of the blue, breaking me out of the spell I was in, making all of my wishes come true. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free, flying away on a wing and a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. This is too good to be true. Look at me, falling for you.
Welcome! It's your boy, Sanchi529. Today's Thursday, October 5th, and it is week 5 of the Scum and Villainy League. And you know what? First things first, bye weeks have arrived.
Woo!
Yes, okay? So we have the Cleveland Browns, the Chargers, Seattle, and Tampa Bay are all on bye weeks. And so,
So make sure you got your stuff figured out.
we're going to feel it this week. People got to be ready for their buys. It's not Buy-Mageddon yet, so not many managers don't have to stress. But again, let's welcome my host, Amber.
Hi, thanks for having me back again.
Yes. Anyways, Amber, so rough week for me.
Yeah,
But it is what it is. We'll
less
get back
than a point.
Yeah.
It's rough. We've all been there, though.
We'll get
We've
back
all
to
had
the
our
grind.
games. That was all my last year's season.
Yeah.
Every
The thing
freaking
is,
Monday, I was like, ugh.
right now, yeah. I mean, no one's 0-4. I think this may be the first year that we don't have an 0-4
Yeah.
team yet.
But we do have a 4-0. Congrats
Yes,
to Ray.
congratulations.
This is
Congratulations
reminding
to
me
Ray.
of season 1
Yeah.
when she went undefeated in normal season.
It's the Travis Kelce thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like
and
no, she never had Mahomes. She was Aaron Rodgers was her.
Yeah,
was
that's
her
right, that's right.
quarterback. But that Travis Kelce, man, she gets off to a good start with that Travis Kelce because it's hard to compete.
Yeah, he's unstoppable. He
Tight
really
ends
is.
don't tight ends seem like they don't heat up until maybe like sometime in the middle, and then Kelsey's gained 20 points a game.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, congratulations, sir. Good job. All right, so Amber, I was thinking today, and
It's a scary proposition, Christopher thinking.
and I was wondering
Last time this happened, he was like, I kind of want to start a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And here we are.
Yes. Okay, so I want to know who you think would win in a lightsaber duel.
Okay. Between me and you?
No, I'd win, obviously.
I would definitely win.
Sheer strength. You wouldn't even know what to do. You don't have any finesse. Like,
That's
you could
true.
not do all this.
That's fair. You know
Look
what
at me.
happened, though?
Look at this.
Wow.
Look at
Grievous. Second only to Grievous
Yes.
or Master Yoda. I think that I would just start crying.
Okay.
And then you would be like, oh, no. Like,
Oh.
like you want to console sometimes when there's tears, And
you
then I
just
would
start
stab
crying?
you in the
I
back.
think-
I would
yeah.
have to play dirty for sure like that.
Oh, yeah. Stabbing in the back, that's your thing. She set me up for that. Come on.
I teed it up.
Anyway, so if we had a duel between Anakin Skywalker, right? General Skywalker, and Darth Vader.
Ooh.
Okay, who would win?
Interesting question. I think that really comes down to, do we think the emotions that the dark side enabled make him more powerful? Not unstoppable.
I really think, because I'm a Darth Vader truther, right?
Truther? What does that mean?
Just Darth Vader's the most powerful of all time. And
So Darth Vader all the way.
I think Darth Vader all the way. Right? So I think, the thing is with Anakin Skywalker, it came easy to him, right? All his force abilities, his lightsaber wielding, all came easy to him. He was able to.
I mean, he's no Rey, but
Yeah, he's no Rey Skywalker, the most powerful Jedi, most powerful Skywalker, right?
yeah,
And I think with
according
Anakin,
to canon at least.
he fought for things, right? So like he fought for the Republic when he had faith in them. He fought for for Padme and for the Council, and stuff like that. So I think a lot of his like motivation was that, right?
Okay.
So I think in the height of him being General Skywalker, right? I think that's what his motivation was, and so he doesn't have that anymore. And with Darth Vader, his motivation was just pure, hate and just anger in his heart, right, for everything that he lost and stuff like that. So I think that emotion was stronger for him than
hatred is an extremely powerful emotion. Extremely. And it is true. You bring up an interesting point, right? Because when Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting in number 3 on Mustafar, like, Anakin is fighting for Padme, kind of. Like, he's like, you can't exist, Obi-Wan, because you're tainting my dynamic with this person.
Yeah.
And he still loses. He's blinded at that point by
that's true. Right.
protecting people instead of being hateful. Like, he kind of has nothing to lose.
Yeah.
When he's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So he's just going to be badass and not really worry about it.
Like pure rage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
this reminds me, this is a totally random fact, but maybe some people will find it interesting. But they did a study once of cats because they were trying to see if hunger is a motivator, right? Or if, desperation in general is a motivator. So they did the study with cats where they starved one and then put it in like a maze style situation with a mouse.
They starved a cat?
They like, not to death, but enough that it's hungry, right?
Okay.
Like, they didn't feed it for a couple days. So now he's like hungry. And then they did a cat that was fully fed. Like, they fed this cat generously for a few days. And then they timed how quick it got the mouse.
Okay.
If at all.
Okay.
And the well-fed cat did much better. Because it wasn't desperate.
So it wasn't desperate.
Yeah, because it wasn't like the cat that was desperate was like, oh my gosh, if I don't catch this mouse, like, I'm totally gonna not eat again and I'm really stressed out about it. So, like, that's Darth Vader. As Anakin. He's very stressed out. I'm losing a bunch of things. I'm scared of what I'm gonna lose. And in that desperation, loses clarity in his fighting. Yeah. But when he's Vader and he's like, well, I lost it all already. So whatever. I guess, I lived through that. That's my analogy. Sorry, did it take a while? Baby Yoda agrees.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so, okay, one more. So let's go ahead and say, so what do you think about if we did Yoda versus Mace Windu?
Yoda.
Yoda?
All day.
Why?
All day.
No.
He's the best swordsman in the Jedi.
Says who?
Period. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan doesn't say that.
He does. He says it to Anakin. He goes, if you only focused or something, your swordsmanship would would rival Master Yoda. Sorry, I had a word vomit there.
You have that quote completely wrong.
All right, tell me the quote.
And he said, if you... shit. He basically says he rivals your swordsman Master Windu. And is forced training through Master Yoda in that scene. It's in episode 2.
I challenge that. Look it up.
Challenge that. I mean, we'll look it up later on. Okay, so you think Yoda.
Comment. Yeah. Comment all those Star Wars fans on which of us is correct, right? Who is the correct swordsman?
It was in episode 2. It's the very first scene of the car chase scene where they're chasing Zam.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember, yes.
Yeah.
And he says, your swordsmanship will rival
you know what? I could be wrong. You know what? Anyways, it doesn't matter. I think Mace Windu whipped his ass. Mace Windu beat Palpatine. Yoda couldn't beat Palpatine.
No, Yoda chose not to beat Palpatine.
What do you, you just chose to lose?
He didn't lose that battle.
Uh-huh.
He didn't lose that battle.
He didn't. He didn't die. Yeah,
Mace Windu did another day. He chose to have strategy.
Mace Windu was badass, though. He just whipped Palpatine's ass. He didn't even try.
I agree that Mace Windu is badass.
He didn't even try. He didn't even need to use the Force.
Here.
He did not need to use the Force. He was like, no, I'm just going to whip your ass with my lightsaber.
He also got him super unexpected with Anakin around. So it was a weird dynamic. It wasn't a fair one-on-one fight.
It was 4-on-1. And then Palpatine killed 3 of them instantly. And then Mace Windu was like, I'm fine still. I don't need you guys.
That's true.
And he was fine. He was about to kill him.
I still think it's Yoda. Yoda's the ultimate.
Really?
Yeah. Yoda was smart enough not to die. Mace Windu didn't see that shit coming.
He didn't know Anakin was going to chop his arm off.
Again, what an idiot. Where was your feeling in the Force?
Well, you can't.
Yoda would not have had his arm chopped off.
His arm's really tiny. It's like this big. So it's like it's kind of hard for Anakin probably to get that wielding. I'm just saying,
Yoda.
Okay.
100%.
I'm going to say Mace. I think Mace got it.
I wonder if there's like a simulator or something.
Yeah, there is some type of simulator. I'm sure someone could tell us. But anyways, all right. So enough of Star Wars. Let's go ahead and talk about football, huh?
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go to everyone's old segment, right? Mailbag.
Old?
I don't know. It's the oldest segment.
It is everyone's favorite segment. That's what you always say.
Is it everyone's favorite?
You say, now for everyone's favorite segment, and then we go, mailbag.
Oh, that is true.
Guess we're mixing it up today.
Everyone's favorite segment.
Mailbag. Thank you.
All right. So let's go ahead and start with the first question, Amber.
All right, Commissioner. Obviously, these are all towards you. I will read the questions, challenge your opinions occasionally.
Okay.
Here we go. Number 1. Why do some managers not participate in the theme of the week?
Oh, yeah, this week.
We're just going to call them out. You have to.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fine, go ahead. Who are they?
Nick and Steven, man.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah,
Nick
it's very...
was disappointing.
Yeah, he's usually
You went
pretty
from
good.
rival podcast number 1 fan
Yeah.
to not changing your theme. And you even commented in the group, and we even called you out in the group, and you still were like,
Yeah, he still didn't change it.
not down.
Yeah. The week
So,
before, we had
yeah.
you not changing your picture.
That's true.
And
But
now
at least
we
I
got-
did change my name, and I changed my picture to something neutral.
That's true.
Like I did in
Yeah,
fact
you did.
do the process.
You
I
actually
just
took it off.
got lazy
to
and
just-
didn't want to like
anyways.
Google.
So we got Nick and Steven.
clownfish.
Yeah, so right now, I gotta be better. I gotta be on some people, as a...
Maybe we need a punishment,
As,
like fab points.
some-
Like every time you don't change your name, minus 5 fab.
So for me, my moniker name is your boy Sanchi529. So my other
What?
moniker is Daddy. So sometimes I gotta be daddy to these managers. So I guess I gotta keep on top of these two players. If managers continue doing this, then we may have to look into new management. So we're a very strong
On the chopping
We're
block.
we're a very strong league, right? And I think it does upset other managers, right? Other people put a participation, they want to know the theme, they change it, right?
Yeah, it's a cohesiveness thing.
It's a cohesiveness.
Yeah, I
so
get
when
you.
you see two managers or a manager just not trying, it almost like pops the bubble, right? Because we're
Yeah.
in this fantasy football like team, and like when you don't, if you're not, being cohesive with everybody else, you kind of pop that bubble.
Yeah.
And you're kind of reminded like, oh, someone's not trying,
see.
right? So again, like I said, we'll have to keep on top of all the managers. Okay, and no one's perfect. Everyone has busy weeks, right?
Sounds like I have a strike one already.
But yeah, maybe we'll have to look into new management. People don't want to change their names. Then, there's a queue to get into the league right now. So
Obviously, you're famous.
there's definitely a queue.
Yeah.
There's definitely not.
There's a backlog of Swifties right now.
That's true. I've been hit up by. I've been hit up by
eager
a
to
few
get into
Swifties,
fantasy
so-
football leagues.
So there's definitely a queue. So there's no loss of management that could easily be filled, right? So, and that's just me being the commissioner right now. So,
All right, Lord Commissioner.
okay, let's go ahead and go question number 2. This is a long one. Okay, so let's try to
Question
break it up.
number
Let's try
2.
to break it up, and then let's answer the question. Okay.
Okay. Number 2. The point gap between wide receivers and running backs, CMC doesn't count due to being a freak of nature,
That's for sure.
is crazy.
Let me
You're-
just say, John lost. What's this? Nick Chubb, and he's not even breaking.
matter.
So it doesn't even matter. It
matter.
doesn't even matter. Can you imagine if he's still a Nick Chubb with the CMC fucking stack?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so CMC doesn't count because he's a freak of nature. So the point gap is crazy. You either have a stud RB or a Dudley.
That's good.
I don't know who
like
this
that.
was, but props to you. With no in between. And there aren't many studs. PPR by nature heavily favors wide receivers, while RBs are pretty much TD dependent for the week. Example, a wide receiver goes 9, 163 and 1, gets 31 points. An RB could rush 9 times for 163 yards and a tutty.
Touchdown.
Okay, touchdown. Thank you. But only gets 22 points.
Okay, so far this person's saying that in our PPR league, it favors wide receivers naturally, right?
Mm-hmm.
It favors CMC even more because he fucking runs and catches a
Yep.
stupid amount.
Yep.
Anyways, and he's saying that so far he's saying wide receiver is going to get 31 points for 163 yards, right? But a running back for 163 yards is only going to get 10 points less.
Yeah.
Even though having the same
Yeah.
rush yards. yards per game, right? Okay, so that's around the second part of
Same
this.
workload.
Yeah, same workload.
effectively.
Yeah. So this is still the same question. They're just giving us a long backlog. Okay,
Yeah.
so go ahead.
I've seen people talk about some league settings they use to up the RB points and make the games more interesting and competitive, such as adding 0.5 to 1 point per first down or bonus points for yardage milestones. 100, one. So the example here is 100, 150, 200 rush yards in the game. But what he's saying is if the player gets to 100, you have the 10 points plus another 2.
Yeah.
You get a 2-point bonus for getting to that, right? Or if you're going 150 yards, then you get an additional 3-point bonus or something like that. That's what this manager means. We already got rid of the kicker position because you either had the number 1 or 2 or you had nothing. So is this something you would consider changing for next year? Or are there any changes to scoring out of the question?
Actually, to be honest with you, I was actually thinking about this last week, okay? Because I am personally, I want to know what you think too, but I am kind of getting sick of how bad quarterbacks are and how bad offenses are in general, right? So you either got, for some reason, you got a star-studded offense.
Had a similar question about quarterbacks.
Yeah. Some manager said something about this too. So right now we're going to week 5 and we have shitty fucking offenses, right? So we have the Jets offense, we got the Giants offense, we got the Falcons offense, we got Washington offense. Like there's a lot of offenses and quarterbacks that aren't stepping up. Even good offenses that are still not. Trevor Lawrence is not stepping up, right? So who else is who's wonky all the time is let's see, even Matt Stafford. He hasn't even broken 20 points all year, right? The Rams look good offensively, right? Puka Nacua, right? Kyron Williams. They're Higbee got 11 receptions for our PPR league. Like, they're all getting 20 plus points, but Matt Stafford's not even getting that. He's under 20 every year, every week so far. So, with this being said, I have been thinking about considering changing the scoring. I do like this though, so maybe a first down or bonus points to make RBs more competitive. I will consider changing the quarterback touchdowns to 6 points.
Okay.
Instead of a 4-point touchdown pass, maybe a 6-point touchdown pass. What that does, if people don't know, is that what that basically does, it kind of evens out all the touchdowns for all the quarterbacks. Right.
So if you're running touchdowns like Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts, the passer touchdowns are now getting comparable points.
Yes, and that's why Josh Allen, freaking stupid, right? He
36 points this week.
Yeah, he's threw 4 touchdowns, but he also runs it with the ball. So Lamar Jackson, I mean, even with Richardson and Lamar, they both had rushed in 2 touchdowns. And they threw 2 touchdowns. So that's pretty good if there was in the 6-point league. I think with that being said, I think if we did a 6-point, I mean, that would make Stafford go over 20 points, right? That would make Brock Purdy go over 20 points again.
Yeah, but I think also now every other quarterback is still getting the additional 2 points. I think it just shifts the points upwards, but the delta's the same. I don't know if
I don't think the delta. I think it evens it out.
Because you think the running quarterbacks aren't passing as many. Okay.
Yeah. So right now I think it does. It is something to consider. I mean, obviously I can't change it mid-season, right?
I mean, another option, which I know you were a fan of, but it'll make for a good talking point right now. Don't do PPR. If you're not in a PPR league, this example, right, of the difference between a wide receiver
I'm not changing it. PPR league, always. I like PPR league. I don't like doing the half point. I'm in other half point leagues or, no PPR leagues, and I don't like it.
It doesn't even have to be half point. It could be no points. It could be just yardages. Yardages make running backs way more important. Okay.
I do like, you know what the thing is, I never thought about changing it to first downs or first down bonuses or something, or yardage mileage bonus, right? So there's bonuses, like a 2-point bonus if you get 40 yards, right? So for rushing or even receiving.
Yeah, it couldn't be that high, right? You're getting 100 yards a game.
Yeah, 100-yard rushing.
Yeah, like when
when
the Yeti was at his finest, they were like, he's had 3 100-yard games in a row. Like, that's a big deal. So it would have to be something like 40.
Fundamentally, regardless of the PPR being more favored for wide receivers, the reason why it's more favored is because wide receivers are so volatile. Okay?
Yes.
If you want to win a championship...
If your quarterback's having a bad game, your wide receiver's having a bad game.
If you want to win a championship, you need stud running backs. Regardless if it's a PPR. When you won your championship, who was the stud running backs?
The Yeti.
The Yeti and Todd Gurley.
My man, Derrick Henry.
Todd Gurley
yes,
and
was
Yeti.
my first one, yes.
They're the ones that won you, and so it's a PPR league, right? So last year I had Eckler. He's my stud, and guess what? I won it, right? I think the year before, who did I have?
Chubb.
I can't remember. I had maybe Mixon and James Conner. That was when James Conner was doing good.
You're right, it was Mixon.
It was Mixon and James Conner. They were both doing good. But again, I think if you want to win, you need stud running backs. Oh, I had CMC also.
That's right.
I did have CMC.
He was on your bench when you won, though. But yes.
He was on my bench. He did win me games, though.
He got you to the playoffs.
He got me wins,
we'll say.
yes. So I still think fundamentally that you need stud running backs. And right now, because the reason why is because you're guaranteed those points, right? CMC is guaranteed 20 points right now, right? Mm-hmm. I can't imagine him not doing anything less than that. Yep. So, who else? Kyron Williams, right? He's doing great.
What a stud.
Who else?
He had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter.
even Madison, right? He's getting 10 points.
Yeah.
Right? You can't get that guaranteed in a wide receiver, unfortunately, every week, right?
No, you can't.
You can't.
Absolutely not.
Deebo Samuels, right? The week before he got this past week, he got what, 0.4 points or something like that?
I think it was just 4, but yes.
And then the week before he got 26,
Yep.
right? So again, wide receivers are volatile.
Yeah.
And it's just how it is.
It brings up a good point too of when you have depth of wide receivers. So he's basically saying there's not depth of running backs, right? Which is fair. But if you have depth of wide receivers, playing is more like who you play, who you start is very relevant. It puts a little bit more on your shoulder as a manager to say this is the matchup that matters this week, as opposed to, especially in your flex positions, this is just the person I'm going to start.
I am considering also, we could talk about it again like the next year. I'm also thinking about maybe we just get rid of the tight end position as well, and just make it not a super flex, but a wide receiver, running back, tight end. Or just make it like a tight end. Like
It's another flex.
Yeah, just another flex. Well, you could make it just a tight end wide receiver, position, which I kind of like, because then you could do back and forth, because it evens out tight ends, right? So you could have Kelsey, you could have Andrews. I mean, Higbee is great, so you would play those players. And if you don't have one of those top 3 players, then you get a wide receiver.
Right.
I mean, we get rid of defense if you want, but some people don't want to get rid of defense, especially your Dallas defense, right? Or Seahawks defense even last night. So
yeah, jeez.
Was it 11
Anyone
sacks
playing
or 9
the Giants?
sacks?
It was a lot.
I think it was.
I felt
9
bad for
sacks.
Daniel Jones.
Oh my God.
I felt bad. Like it was painful to watch.
Yeah. So they were saying that, I think last night's game, that they've drafted 5 linemen in the last 2 years, which is the most.
Were they injured or something?
Which is the most than any other team. So they're trying to get an offensive line, but for some reason, I guess they're the ones that have invested the most in the offensive line in the past like few years, and it's just not showing.
Yeah, it was painful to watch. Honestly.
And the thing is that they gave Daniel Jones $80 million guaranteed for 4 years this year. So this is his first year of 4. $80 million guaranteed for Daniel Jones,
which he deserves at that point. He has no time to throw it.
Yeah,
he just has no time. How do you expect him to do anything when he can't?
Oh man! All right, so good question though. And okay, last question.
Number 3, Taylor Swift fans think of Zach Wilson better than Pat Mahomes.
What do you think, Amber? You tell me, as the Swiftie here.
But I'm also a football fan.
Okay.
The point of this question is that Swifties don't know.
Okay.
That they've seen 2 football games.
Yeah.
Total. So they probably think that Zach Wilson is better than Mahomes because he had better statistics.
Yeah.
They effectively won because Isaiah Pacheco had that 60-yard touchdown or whatever it was.
Actually, you know what happened was there was a mishold, I guess, and that's what happened. And then they called a hold on defense but I guess there was also a hold for offense on the offensive line, and they missed that one, but they called for the Jets. And so I think that was the one that, Mahomes basically ran all the way, and then they were able to run the clock out. But right now, Zach Wilson against Pat Mahomes, that was weird. It was a good game.
Yeah. It was very entertaining to watch.
So funny thing is that I was looking up stats, and I read a stat, and it said this past game, so Pat Mahomes versus Zach Wilson, it was the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career in college and all of NFL, right? First time in his whole career that the opposing quarterback had better stats than him.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That is so telling about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that tells you, like, even like in the games he lost, like he did great. You know, he did better than the opposing quarterback. It's just, you know, defenses win or something like that. But again, the opposing quarterback, first time in his career, had better stats than him in a game.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, wow. I was like, damn, Zach Wilson. He won the first game. Yep. Right? He put up a dogfight against the
Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Like, man, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm fine with it.
You're fine with it?
I'm fine that Swifties think that for now. They'll keep watching Mahomes, obviously, because they're going to be watching Kelsey. Yep. And they'll know the truth. But good for Zach Wilson.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like rooting for him, but at the same time, like, I don't know what else would they do.
I don't know.
He's really bad.
He's not great.
Yeah.
He's not who I would want. You know, I want Russell Wilson.
So, did you also know that this past week, because he's trying to win over his
starting spot,
his team. The team has no faith in him, right? And it sucks. He's actually done a lot for his team. Like, people do this all the time, actually. Quarterbacks do this all the time. Mm-hmm. We just don't hear about it very often. But quarterbacks will, you know, they will give gifts to the offensive line, right? Hey, like, hey, thanks for protecting me out there. Mm-hmm. You know, they do like stuff like that.
I have heard about this. Have you talked about this before?
Maybe. Yeah. Even running backs will give stuff to their offensive line, like, hey, thank you for making me great, essentially, because that's what offensive line does, you know. So you hear about this all the time, where players will, you know, gift everything somebody to the team, right? So last year, Zach Wilson, he gifted like mopeds to all the offensive starting line. So it was like there was like 9 of them. He gifted them all mopeds. He's like, "Oh, here, thank you for, you know, being the offensive line."
Is that a desirable gift?
I don't know, but I mean, like,
also offensive linemen are huge. They're gonna look like circus bears riding the bike.
They were beefy. They were beefy mopeds. They didn't look like, you know, just like a, you know, like a Faggio or anything like that. But it was funny. And then this past week, maybe a week and a half ago, like after the week 3 loss, for practice, he brought an ice cream truck, and he gave ice cream for like the entire complex.
Oh,
so
that's fun. I love ice cream trucks.
Yeah. I was like, okay, it doesn't really do much.
Any face with the gumballs, you know, Spider-Man, SpongeBob.
Yeah, I think it was like more like an old-fashioned style, not like one
like
of those,
soft serve or something.
Yeah,
cool.
something like that, like hand scooped, kind of thing. And so he like, you know, gave ice cream to everybody and stuff like that. And so after practice or something like that. So I feel bad for him because he's trying to make everybody win him over. And you know what the thing is, like, he did good. You know, it's like, damn, like.
You know what I was thinking of the other day, which plays into this? Okay. I'd be curious what you think of it. You know, I think when you're playing football, a lot of focus goes into your physical training.
Okay.
Almost entirely. But, like, I think this is kind of a universal statement. It's true for everybody, but particularly with quarterbacks. Your mental game is what makes or breaks you. Like, Zach Wilson obviously has the talent. He showed us he has the talent. But why can't he do it every game? I think that is something more than his physicality. Yeah. Right? Does the NFL do anything to promote stronger? I don't know if mental health is the right word, but like...
I don't know if the NFL... I know the NFL...
You would think there's trainings like that. Like, you know, like, how do we make you a strong mental player where you're not getting down, where you can be consistent? Tom Brady's success was entirely because he could play totally terrible for an entire half and then come back... I'm not going to name any Super Bowls right now with the producer in the room. But
20-3.
Oh my god. But anyway, and he could come back and win, and he could win Super Bowls like that, you know?
Yeah.
And not everyone can do that. That's what makes you great or not great, and there has to be some sort of training for that. And if not, that seems like a problem.
I think that's per camp. Like, that's per training facility. Like,
I think that has to be more of a one-on-one thing, right?
Yeah. I
You
don't know.
have to be like, hey, Danny Dimes, you're getting in your own head when you throw 2 picks.
I know, poor guy. Ugh.
Here are exercises we can do to help you recover from that. I don't know. Just
All
a
right,
thought.
all
Need to do
right.
research.
So there you go. That's the end of the mailbag. Good mailbag is a long one, right? So let's go ahead and start with the sit, start, cut, Amber.
Whoop, whoop. All right, Christoph.
Or we're gonna do it a little differently.
We're going to do a special San Francisco 49ers version.
Yes. So
So we're actually going to give you 4 in this one.
yes,
So I guess you get to pick
I
whichever
don't
you
know.
want to, if it's 2 keeps or 2,
I'm gonna say 2 starts,
2 starts.
2 sits.
So,
How about that?
Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, CMC.
I know. So I mean, the biggest problem. Okay, all these players have gone off, right? CMC has gone off.
Yeah.
Ayuk has gone off. Debo has gone off. Kittle has gone off. But the problem is that we're seeing that only 2 of them can go off at a time. Okay, so if 2 of them are doing good, the other 2 are doing bad.
Okay.
So that's how it's been for the last 4 weeks now. CMC.
I like this math calculation you've got going.
CMC has been the only one that has been consistent. Mm-hmm. Right, so he's a obvious start.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
We almost could have left him off the list. That was just because he's CMC.
But the thing is, again, that Dallas run defense is the hardest.
Yep.
The Dallas run defense is the hardest out of the entire league, right? So they played against the Jets, the Giants, the Cardinals, and New England, right? And they all gone under 12 points is the max. The Cardinals looks like that weird game when the Cardinals beat Dallas for some reason. Looks like the Cardinals run defense ran 21 points against them.
Yeah.
But other than that, the Giants, 11 points. Jets, 2 points. And New England, 8 points. Right? So, it does, we don't really, they beat down Saquon Barkley. They showed up Breece Hall. James Conner apparently did good. But then Ramondre Stevenson, these are good running backs.
Yeah, they're shutting out running backs.
They're shutting out good running backs. These are tested running backs. And for some reason, they're really good at it. But you got to stay in the flames with CMC, right?
Yep.
I wouldn't worry about it with CMC.
Absolutely.
Right? On the wide receiver end, right? They're the 3rd hardest against wide receivers. So the wide receivers on this side, it's kind of skewed. So I'm not too worried about it. Again, they're the 3rd hardest, but again, they face Giants wide receiver sets. They face the New England wide receiver sets. They played against the Jets wide receiver set. So, and we had Garrett Wilson, but again with Zach Wilson, right? So, but again, 4 points to the Giants, 19 points to the Jets. To the Cardinals, again, for some reason, it's a fluke, right? 31 points.
Yeah, the defense just didn't show up that day.
31
Somebody was
points.
sick.
And then last week against New England, it was at 16 points. So I'm not too worried about that. I think Brock Purdy and I think Kyle Shanahan, they have a good repertoire right now. I think Brock Purdy is pretty smart. And they have a good defense too,
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's not going to... I can't imagine this being a blowout. I think Brock
I think
Purdy...
it's going to be a low-scoring game, universally.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Even
be
though
honest with you.
we just talked about how good the defenses are.
I think the Dallas hasn't been tested to an actual playoff contender style team, right? And with a great head coach and Mr. Irrelevant, right? So Brock Purdy, he's done great. He's competent. He scores 2 touchdowns every week, right?
Yep.
So, and he has weapons. So again, I think with that being said, I would be happy to play. I think I would be happy to play probably Debo right now. I think he's going to bounce back.
That's how he does,
Yes.
seemingly.
He was
has
injured.
an off, and then he has a good. And
He was injured,
Yeah.
right? So again, in that game, they didn't really need him.
Yeah.
Right? So they're probably going to shut down Ayuk with those long balls, right? And then Debo was a two-way player. He runs the ball and he catches the ball. And he's a tough man, right?
Yeah.
He's
100%.
that guy could go. So I think right now I'd be more comfortable with a Debo, only because I think Ayuk is going to get double teamed more. With Kittle, you can't face with them, right? So I think right now, you're safe to say start Debo, start CMC, And then we'll have to look other words for Ayuk and Kittle right now.
Okay. Do you know what they are?
Do I know what?
Is it cut Kittle?
I said start sit, so no
Okay.
cut. No one's cutting.
No
But
one's
if I had to
cutting.
cut, I'd probably cut Kittle,
Okay.
right? Because he's inconsistent, but again, he showed up, So those are my start sits for the
Perfect.
San Francisco offense. Okay, so we now got another. We've been doing start sit cut for quarterbacks because those are going to
Fun.
be those are fun, right? So let's go inside start sit cut for these 3 quarterbacks.
All right. Number 1, Zach Wilson. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, J-Law.
J-Law. Oh, Trevor Lawrence.
Why is there a J?
Oh, my bad. That was my typo. Sorry, guys.
T-Law.
T-Law. So, okay. I think I would almost be comfortable starting Zach Wilson this week. Okay?
Against Denver?
Denver
Absolutely.
clearly shows that Denver has no defense.
How
There's
good did
nothing-
Justin Fields look last
oh my
week?
God. I mean, Justin Fields look great. So,
They're a bummer to be a
So,
fan of, man.
Denver Broncos have bled the most points to quarterback positions this year.
Yep.
Okay, they are the easiest for quarterbacks. And I think Zach Wilson right now, I think he looks good.
Yep.
Right? He did great against the Chiefs.
Yep.
And now he's going against a terrible, terrible defense for quarterbacks. And I'm not even trying to be mean to you. It's just, again,
It's just how. They were a good defense last year.
They gave up so much points to Chicago. And then they gave so much points to Miami quarterbacks,
70 of them.
70 points to them. So, and they just look bad still, right? They're
look
not.
terrible.
They're
Yeah,
not.
no.
The thing is, they're not stopping any part of the ball. Like,
Yeah.
there's no part of the ball that they're stopping.
So
right?
this is interesting. So you're starting Zach Wilson over Josh Allen. 36
I
point
haven't.
game.
I said I feel comfortable
Okay.
with starting him, right?
All right.
But at the same
But I'm
time,
curious. Let's talk about this specifically.
okay. So we got Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh Allen looks so damn good last week, right? But again, right now,
Jacksonville's the 22nd against QBs too. It's not
yeah.
hugely,
Yeah, it's also easy. It's an easy
easy
matchup.
matchup.
Yeah. So, and then Trevor Lawrence. Oh man. So Trevor Lawrence is going against the Buffalo Bills.
Again, they
Right.
held 2 out of 14,
Yes.
which
so,
was pretty rough.
But
Tua, who scored 70 against Denver.
So Tua did great against Denver. Then against Buffalo, they kind of shut him down.
Yep.
Um,
That Buffalo D is
But yeah, so they shut down every single team, right? So they shut down, Zach Wilson, and then the Garoppolo, and then Sam Howell, which for Washington, and then last week against Tua. So now you got Trevor Lawrence, who he did a good game.
Yeah.
It was a good game. It was a solid. He moved the ball around pretty well. I think his repertoire is getting closer with Kirk, right? So I think he is more comfortable with Kirk. I don't know what happened with Ridley last game. He kind of just went. He got the touchdown, right? I think, or did
Yeah.
he? Did he get the touchdown? And
Yeah.
then that's it.
yeah, and then he was quiet.
Yeah, he was quiet for the rest of the game. So if I had to sit, I'm sitting Trevor Lawrence. Unfortunately, this week, that Buffalo defense just doesn't look good.
But that means you're cutting Zach or Josh Allen.
Oh, sorry. I'm cutting
Yeah,
Trevor
okay.
Lawrence. Sorry.
I was like,
At this point, so you got to remember that we are in the week 5, so we're in the buys now. Drafting doesn't matter anymore, guys. Like you drafted players, like you got to
gonna
realize
have to bench
if you
them.
don't like them, you got to cut them at this point. So yes, the first 4 weeks we want to keep our players that we drafted because this is what we think, But now at this point in the year, that doesn't matter. So
Right.
we need to go for points now. We need to win games. Right now with Trevor Lawrence going against Buffalo, I'm gonna cut him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know the owner's not gonna cut him, obviously, but in this sit start cut tool, I'm gonna cut Trevor Lawrence.
are you streaming somebody? If you're,
I would stream Zach
you are
Wilson.
the
I would
Tua
stream
owner?
Zach
Okay.
Wilson over Trevor Lawrence right now.
Okay, there
And
you
then
go.
obviously I would start Josh Allen, right?
Yep.
He's a man.
You gotta.
4 touchdowns,
Yeah.
passes, 3 of them Stephon Diggs, right? And that's it. So there it is.
All right, very good, Kamish. I love it.
Yes. All right.
That was a good
so-
round.
Yeah, that was hard.
That was a good quarterback
Yeah.
one. I like that a lot.
Again, the thing is, Zach Wilson he looked good, and he has a juicy matchup.
Yeah,
So,
very juicy.
but again, if he screws you over, it's like, oh, no wonder.
Yeah, you're gonna feel dumb.
Yeah, you're
That's the thing about Zach Wilson is you either start him and feel dope that he got you 40 points,
Yeah.
or you're like, why the hell did I start Zach Wilson?
You know, the thing is, again,
Like, what was I thinking?
you know, Jets defense shows up, right?
Yeah.
So every single game, Jets defense show up. So you know, Zach Wilson's gonna have a lot of opportunity,
Yep.
right? All right, so let's go ahead and go with upset of the week, huh, Amber? Let's go.
Christoph Sanchez.
Yes. So last
Holy
week,
moly. You're 3 for 3.
I'm 3 for 3, right? I said last week that
Again, this is more than prediction at this point. This is future
I'm 3 for 3.
changer.
So I said that you were going to beat Jonathan.
Yep.
Jonathan, and that was coming from Jonathan's 170-point game, right?
Yeah.
Where he dominated, and then again, I think that, yeah, like I said, Kamar was going to help you out, you know?
And it's an impressive call on your part because Jonathan was the second highest scorer of the week.
Yeah, like he said, yeah, he said
Yeah,
that.
which we complained about. That's a terrible feeling. Again, we've all been there now at
Mm-hmm.
this point. But, like, it's crazy. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed
anyways,
with you.
3-0 against upset of the week. So right now,
Wait, pause.
okay, go.
Amber, did you get any Venmos?
No Venmos. Okay,
You
I
guys
guess-
missed out.
Nope, no.
All right, Chris's authentic opinion here.
There you go. All right, so the episode of the week right now, and I think it's going to be John versus Ray.
Okay.
So Ray's 4-0. She's also the projected winner. John has a lot of buys.
Okay.
This week too. So he's not scraping the bottle, but the bottom of the barrel, but he's
Ish.
pretty. Yeah, he's down there. He's he's going to be picking up some waiver wires this week.
Yeah.
And Ray doesn't have any buys. Her team looks good. She whooped me last week, right? That Dallas defense.
Again, I think whip is a little intense.
Dallas defense did great. I mean, this is the second time that they scored over 25 points, right?
Yeah.
So, right now, but again, I think I gotta stay in the flames with that CMC, right? You gotta feel good about that, and I think his QB is gonna do better than Pat Mahomes. And Pat Mahomes didn't look good either, so he threw 2 interceptions,
Yep.
right? So.
Yep.
Maybe something's up with Patrick Mahomes, right? So
Taylor Swift was there.
Taylor Swift was there, but there you go. That's the upset of the week. John
Yeah.
beating Ray.
All right. John,
All right.
I'm excited for you, bro.
So now we got theme of the week. Okay, so theme of the week right now. First, I'll recap the themes of last week. So last
Let's
week
do it.
was your favorite cocktail. So we got P.F. Chang's margarita.
Woo!
Okay, and then we got pina colada. Then we got a Nutty Irishman.
Can I just ask you something?
Go.
What makes the P.F. Chang's margarita different? Anything? Or just have really good margaritas?
You know what? It's good. It's fresh, right? It's just a fresh margarita. Like, it's just simple ingredients. It's just like only 4 ingredients. There's nothing more than that. And maybe, you know, it could also
Is it
be
tequila?
Yeah, it's pure agave. I don't know which one it is though. But
And then agave nectar?
yeah.
And then lime juice?
Yeah.
So it's just a skinny margarita.
I mean, that's just a margarita.
I mean, I know. I'm just saying.
What? That's what a margarita is, right? Tequila, agave,
Yeah.
and
They
lime
just
juice.
do it fresh.
They just do it good. You know what? The other thing I feel like maybe I like it so much is that it's so tiny, right?
Yeah.
And it's filled. It's like a tiny cup, and it's filled with ice, and so you just get a little bit of it. And I'm like, oh, that's good, but then it's gone, and it's like $11.
wanting
It's
more.
$11 drink, and so it's like I could have 5 of these if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna spend $55 on this thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm like, I'll just have every time I go to Pure Change, I only have one.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, I just want one, just one.
Okay.
You know, because I can't justify getting 2 of those.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm like, maybe that's why. Because
Yeah.
it's so little that that's all I get, and I'm like, oh, I want more. But I always leaves me wanting more.
Okay.
So
It was an interesting choice. I mean, you mentioned it last
Yeah,
week.
I did.
thought
I was
you
like,
were
you know
kind of
what?
not super serious
I was like,
about it.
that's a good cocktail.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've never been mad about having that cocktail. Anyways, so we got pina colada, Nutty Irishman, Malibu, and pineapple juice.
What's a nutty Irishman?
I've
I've never heard of that. John, where do you get these? Where did you discover it?
He probably just typed
Answer.
in random cocktail and then he just put in the first one. I don't know. Maybe you could tell us what a Nutty Irishman is in the comments, huh?
Yeah. And where you had it the first time.
Yeah, right. And then I'm gonna say Jeff. He probably had it with Jeff, his
Yeah.
brother. I'm gonna assume that's his brother.
It seems like a good East Coast drink, like
Okay.
Irish coffees. We had Irish coffees in Chicago when it was freezing and it was perfect.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. Maybe
yeah, the
then.
Chicago's. What was it?
Irish coffees.
Irish coffees,
This
yeah,
is like
those
a
are good.
version of the Irish
Seems
coffee.
like it,
though.
yeah. And then we got Moscow Mules. Oh, so producer
Thanks,
has came
producer.
in. Okay, so Nutty Irish cocktail. It's gonna be half an ounce of Irish whiskey, 1 ounce of Frangelico, 1 ounce of Bailey's Irish Cream, and 1 ounce Kahlua. Oh, geez, there's still more shit in here.
Then I think 5 ounces coffee.
Oh, 5 ounces of coffee. Okay.
Sour cream.
Okay, so what is
Dang.
So is this just like a chocolatey Irish
It's hot
coffee?
chocolate.
This should be really sweet.
It's a hot chocolate Irish coffee?
Not even, because you're only using half an ounce.
So Irish coffee is Irish whiskey,
Yeah.
coffee, and
Sugar.
and cream.
Whipped cream.
And cream, right? So this is Irish whiskey and Bailey's
And Frangelico.
and
And
Frangelico
Kahlua.
and Kahlua
And coffee.
in coffee. Okay. Huh. Okay,
Alright.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's like a Starbucks-y.
It would
I
be
mean,
delicious.
Yeah, that'd be easy. to
It would
drink,
be
yeah.
delicious. It'd be
100%.
very
Thank you,
sweet.
producer.
It'd be good. All right.
Producer always coming in.
Thanks. That was
Thank you.
clutch.
Anyways, so we got Moscow Mules. Then we got Disneyland Micheladas, which are bomb,
They
by
are
the way.
delicious.
Disneyland Micheladas are delicious. I can't find a better Michelada, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah, they're so freaking good. I don't know, something with that, the rim, bomb. So we got Bourbon Smash from Cincinnati. From the producer. Producer said that her favorite one is the Bourbon Smash from Cincinnati. Goodfellas is this pizza place. So,
Okay. Best
and then we
bourbon
got
smashes.
a blueberry margarita. Okay. And then we have Aero Club Whiskey Sours. Good job. And a chelada. Since Michelada was already taken. So we
Got
just got chelada. All right. So, you know what? The thing is that I do like...
Do we consider micheladas cocktails?
It's a mixed...
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Producer says yes.
Producer says yes. I was trying to give you an out on a technicality.
You know the thing is, it's not fair. It's but those Aero Club Whiskey Sours, man. Like if you picked that first, and that would have been mine. Also,
Last to first.
you brought it. Yeah.
Last
yeah.
to
There you
first.
go. Best one. Aero Club Whiskey Sours. If you don't know, whiskey sours, these specific ones use egg whites, right? And
Which
so-
traditionally they do. If you were getting it in the 30s.
back in the 30s,
whites,
yeah.
yes.
So you would do egg whites. Right now, it's just like the
You
sweet.
don't normally see that anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just whiskey and like a sweet and sour kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
You get your protein with your cocktail.
and then you get a little bit of cinnamon dust on it,
Yeah.
right? So
And a cherry.
and a cherry. So these specifically still do them old fashioned. So it's all egg whites. So again, you get a little protein, right?
Yeah. It's a little frothy, though. It froths.
Yeah, it froths up. They put a little spring coil in it,
Yeah.
and that's what makes this froth up. Really good, good times.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I could probably have like 7 or 8 of them. And
Yeah.
just stumble out the bar. But worst one is I'm going to say, I don't want to be mean or anything like that. It's between the Moscow Mule and the Pina Colada.
You're not a ginger beer person.
Yeah, so Moscow Mules, I don't know. Anything vodka, I'm just like, nah. So, and the same thing with Pina Colada, I'm just like, you can't have more than one Pina Colada.
Did you ever have one in Hawaii where you went?
I had a shit ton. But I'm in Hawaii. Like,
Does it hit different when you're in a tropical location?
it does, because it gives you fresh pineapple. So you get the fresh pineapple. So
All right, sounds like Moscow Mule.
So
I think if you had,
then there
if you
go.
had fresh ginger beer, it would not change anything for
Yeah,
you.
that's true. Ooh, that sounds gross already. Just fresh ginger beer. Anyway, so there you go. There you go. Best and worst of the last
Love
week's
it.
themes. I definitely would have picked the whiskey sours if you didn't pick it. All right, so the
New theme.
New theme of the week. All right, so this theme of the week is going to be, what was your dream job as a kid?
Love it.
There you go.
Is yours what you're doing now?
Podcasting? Yes.
Perfect. Mine is not what I'm doing now either.
No?
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I thought you were going to say it. I was like, oh, is she going to tell me right now?
No. I'll leave. I told you guys last week, and then that was a miss. So
Yeah,
I'll leave
see?
it.
Look at that. I guess I also said mine last week too then, right?
Yeah, we both did. But we both said maybe we'll say that.
Is there any rules or any caveats to this one?
Nah.
It can be made up. Because obviously when you're a kid, you had made up
Yeah.
dreams, right? It could be...
Yeah, my niece just graduated from kindergarten, and they all had to say what they wanted to be when they grow up, and she said a superhero.
Oh.
I was like, I can get on board with that.
Yeah, yeah,
So if you
yeah.
wanted to be a superhero,
Yeah.
let us know.
If you wanted to be a dinosaur. Like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be a dinosaur or something like
Yeah,
that. Like
whatever, you didn't know. That's cool. Is there an age range? Like, you have to be less than 10?
Producer says
No.
no.
People can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, most people can't remember.
Earliest you remember.
Okay. Producer just chimed in again, huh?
Thanks, Produce.
So, no rules on this one. Duplicates are okay. Because we want to know your dream job as a kid. Is there any ones that just outlandish to you? Like, what?
I hope so.
Right now, what do you think?
One that I would be like, what's wrong with you? If somebody said like banker or manager or principal, I would think that's weird.
Foreman?
Maybe not a foreman. Like a construction worker foreman?
Yeah.
Like if you said foreman specifically, I'd be like, that's a little interesting. But like in the realm of construction, like
Accountant?
accountant would be strange.
There
I'd be
you
like,
go.
you were a strange child
Yeah.
if you wanted to be an accountant.
Accountant. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some that I wouldn't find weird, like garbage man. Like, yeah, when you're a kid, driving this big truck seems super cool.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be weird.
Crane operator kind of thing.
Yeah.
Forklift driver kind of thing.
Yeah.
Race car driver.
Yeah, I had a friend who wanted to be a Power Ranger. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I would too. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
Power Rangers
so-
are the shit.
If it's like a weird, very boring, specific job, I'll be like, that's a little weird.
Okay, so last but not least, everyone's least favorite segment is Power Rankings.
All right.
All right. So with Power Rankings, we're going to go ahead and finish this up pretty soon. So we're going to go start off with Jonathan.
Okay.
I think Jonathan got it this week. I think last week was a bad beat for him. But again, he's still scoring a lot of points.
He's been on an upswing.
You know,
He would have beat
so
everyone else in the league.
even without Saquon, and I think Saquon's supposed to come back this week.
Yep.
So I think he has it. I would feel good about Jonathan's league. The only thing that sucks about him is that now he has division losses.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you beat him and I beat him. So that's going to come back. So he's 0-2 right now in
Yeah,
division
that'd be
losses.
interesting. I can't think imminently. Actually, I can. I think I missed out on the playoffs last year because I had division losses.
Yeah.
I think I had a tied record with somebody in the 6 range. Mm-hmm. And
It had to been Jonathan.
yeah, didn't
Or was
have,
it Brian?
I don't know. I could be making this up. We'd have to review it. But I remember that
Yeah.
situation happening where I was like, oh, I got the record, but not.
It had to been Jonathan,
Yeah.
I think. Because I think Brian was already out also, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then
I gave up. In the
then you
playoffs,
gave up.
Which was dumb because I have to confess to everybody right now, I hate that license plate. The license plate cover. It drives me berserker. Fortunately, on my new car, I put it on the front so I don't have to see it every time I'm walking in my car.
That's true.
But when I did have it on the back, which is what I did originally with my old car, every time I was walking to it, I'd read it and I'd piss me off. It really has truly motivated me not to lose this
Not
year,
to get into last place.
which is kind of questionable based on my draft. But yes, I am motivated. I am serious about not being last.
All right, so a good motivator, huh?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and I think Steven's still doing good. I think he's gonna get number 2. Then we got John. I think
Upset of the week.
upset of the week. CMC looks great, and I have all the faith in his roster right now. So I think number 4, I'm gonna bounce back. Your boy Sanchi 529 is gonna come back.
Awesome Excellent coming back?
No, he's on a bye.
Oh, he's the bye week. Okay,
So-
so without Awesome Excellent coming back.
I'm fine. I'm not worried about it. We're good. We got it this week. Okay. So then number 5 is gonna be, number 1 podcast fan, right?
Yep.
So then number 6, Frohiger.
Yep.
Bad beat. Sorry. And then number 7 is gonna be Brian. Number 8 is gonna be Ray. She's gonna take her first loss this week. She's gonna be 4-1 by this time next week. And I think
still a game ahead of everybody.
I think Amber Sanchez is gonna be number 9. The producer. Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. So that's a tough matchup right now. And
Maybe she'll get Zach Wilson. We don't know yet.
yeah, maybe. And then number 10, fuck Nick. All right, Amber, anything you want to say? Anything?
Not at all. Great podcast.
Good. All right. So
Yoda would win.
no.
Yeah.
I think Mace Windu would just probably swing hard enough, like a baseball bat against.
And Yoda would be like, pew, 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 like jump 18 times.
and all he needs is just one hit, just bam.
Yeah,
And
if you can hit him.
if I can hit,
Boy
yeah,
has hops.
That's true. He does have hops.
Boy can hop around Mace Windu like nobody's
Mm-hmm.
business.
Yeah, but who would win fantasy?
Oh,
Mace.
Mace.
He's just more cutthroat.
He's just more cutthroat. All right. So that's it for the podcast. Everyone, thank you for watching. Don't forget to tune in next week for Power Rankings, and don't forget to smash that like button. And last but not least, let's ride.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer.
Hi, this is the audition for my new host for the 2023 Fantasy Football League. Our league is the Scum and Villainy League. We've been together for 7 years. And right now we're just trying to look for a new host, something different this year. So let's go ahead and start off with your name. All right. Let me repeat it again. So let's just start off with your name and tell us why you're here. Okay, well, I'm looking at your application right now, and I see your name is Amber. Yes? What made you apply? Can you give me anything at all to work with right now? All right. Well, I think I got everything I need for this. Thank you. Hi, welcome to the Additions. What is your name?
My name's Amber Freiger.
I love it. You're hired.
Oh,